Hi, my name is Ali, and my task is to present to you the Work and Travel China program. This presentation will help you understand all the details and the algorithm of the program. Let's start with the first step. It is very important to remember it now, and even write it down, because the presentation contains lots of useful information, but this first step is the essential part for participating in our program. So, the first step. After you finish watching this video presentation, please send us your CV, resume in English, with all the teaching experience that you had. If you didn't have any teaching experience, you can write private tutoring, as the Chinese do not request confirmation of your tutoring experience. But for a good contract in a city like Beijing or Shanghai, it is very important to indicate at least this minimal experience. Chinese are fond of private tutoring, so do not forget to mention it in your CV. In addition to CV, please send us your photos, no more than 5. They have to be the most cheerful photos you have so that the Chinese see you as a sociable and easygoing person. You can take them from Facebook or Instagram. It doesn't matter. Please attach them as well. The next steps include an interview with one of our managers to help us understand all your advantages before this big interview with the Chinese employer. Then, we will ask you to make a video presentation of yourself, which should include some information about you, plus you answering the question, why would I like to teach in China? This will only be 2 to 3 minutes long, no more. We will also ask you to send us some additional documents such as passport photo, scans of diplomas you have, and a criminal record check certificate. These documents and video will help us find you a suitable job placement with one of our trusted partners, and then a Skype interview with one of the employer's representatives is conducted. If the interview goes well, the position is yours. But what do you need to do to pass the interview? Firstly, speak English fluently. If your English is excellent, Chinese will take you even if you are 18 and lack experience, or if you are 60 and you still do not have a higher education. English language is the main factor for Chinese employers. Secondly, show that you are an active person. Don't make any pauses and do not give monosyllabic replies. Try to speak much more than the representative of the employer does. This is very important. And finally, do not cheat. If you prepare some notes for the interview, memorize them. Do not read from these notes during your talk. Otherwise, you will lose too many points. The standard interview time is 10 to 15 minutes. If it's shorter, that's okay. But if it takes 25 to 30 minutes, then something is wrong, and they take more time to make the decision. After waiting a day or two, you will receive the result. If everything is okay, the position is yours. You are then asked to start visa processing. When your visa is received, it's time to buy a ticket and pack your bags. You only have to buy a one-way ticket. We remind you that all of our contracts have visa and air ticket reimbursement. It means that at the end of the contract, you will get all the money you spent to obtain Chinese visa and buy air tickets to China. As for the preparations, we give you a list of things that you should take with you. We also provide you with information on where to find the best attractions in China, as well as some things that will help you throughout your journey with our program. At the airport, you are picked up by your employer's representative, and then you go to your accommodation apartment during the training period. Accommodation is free, of course. As for the job contract, it will include all the crucial clauses, the first of which is the salary. In most cases, the Chinese will provide you with a bank card and you'll receive your salary on it. But even if they pay you in cash, the salary should be tax-free. They pay huge taxes for you as a foreign specialist, but all of this money is paid without any connection to your salary. Though some regions in China still have 2% income tax, which cannot be avoided. The next thing is free housing. There are 2 types of apartments, shared and unshared. Shared is given to you and some other teacher. In this case, you always have your own bedroom and space. Unshared apartment is given to you only. Shared apartments are generally a bit larger. If this is important to you, you can ask for the type you prefer, and if it's possible, the employer will provide you the one you ask. Apartments always have everything you need. internet, TV, washing machine, air conditioning. They also have all cooking utilities, so you can make your own meals. The employer also tries to find an apartment close to the educational facility where you work, so that you do not spend much of your time getting there. 70% of our contracts have free lunch, 30% have free breakfast. If you have free breakfast at your school, please come 30 minutes before the start of your classes, so you will have your meals without being late. Prolongation is free, and you even get a bonus for another contract. You will get a salary raise, plus you can ask employer to bring some of your relatives over to you. If the educational facility is pleased with your work, they will certainly adhere to your requests. We can tell you the most important factor to please your employer. Do not violate the discipline. Specific teaching techniques are minor, but discipline is the most important factor. Do not violate the rules, and you'll make your employer very happy with your work. There are just 3 simple rules. Don't miss your lessons, don't be late, and do not come fuzzled at work. Now let's talk about your training. You are given teaching techniques based on the rule repeat, repeat, repeat. It doesn't matter what age of pupils there will be in your class. You'll still have to repeat the lesson many times before they actually get it. It is always good to play with the children and speak English while doing so, as it really helps them absorb the information. And even if a kid remembers just 5 to 10 new words a week, their parents will be very happy with their English skills and will be proud to say that they have a very talented child. The Chinese language is prohibited in most schools or kindergartens when speaking to kids. Your task is practice English with them, not Chinese. Some schools even have some rules regarding fines for using the Chinese language with kids. Even though you are not allowed to speak Chinese, working with kids is very easy, as there is always a Chinese assistant to solve all the matters during class. Whether the kid needs to eat, or is behaving improperly, or something else, all is done by your Chinese assistant. You do not spend time on these actions. Nevertheless, some kindergartens ask you to spend some hours with kids outdoors, or to create an environment where you speak English all the time you are with the kids. And now, some words about the Chinese language. When coming to China, we give you the best known audio system to learn the most commonly spoken type of oral Chinese, Mandarin. By the time you finish your audio course, you will switch to the next level, Language Exchange Partner. This form of language learning is free and mutually beneficial. This is how it works. You teach your partner English, and he or she teaches you Chinese. The class takes 2 hours. During the first hour, you are a teacher, and during the second hour, you are a student. English is more valuable, so often, 30 minutes of English equals 1 hour, or 1.5 hours of Chinese. For those with a high level of knowledge, a better option will be to find an advanced level tutor. In big cities, the average cost of one-on-one classes is 50 to 100 yuan per hour, and in smaller cities, it is 30 to 60 yuan per hour. You can take language classes any day convenient to you, in the morning or in the evening. Remember that whatever language learning option you choose, the Chinese will always be very supportive and interested in teaching you their language. Group language courses in China are usually more expensive than individual classes, and the desired result is often not achieved. We recommend you try at least 5 tutors to find the most suitable teacher for mutually beneficial cooperation. As we previously told you, knowing the Chinese language is not necessary for teaching. As for everyday life, you won't have problems without Chinese if you have your phone with you, which you can use as a GPS to find your way, or as a calculator negotiating in the market when buying fruit. All big cities have Walmart stores and other big grocery supermarket chains where you can find everything duplicated in English, so it won't be a problem to buy anything you need. However, if learning Chinese is important for you at the beginning, then we recommend a system we give you, in addition to everyday practice with your Chinese friends. You can find a person who speaks English at least a little and ask him or her to practice Chinese with you for free. We assure you that this person will be very kind to you, take photos with you, tell everyone he has a foreign friend, and practice Chinese with you as much as you need. It is the best option of language learning for the first time. As for the Chinese attitude towards foreigners, it's really great. They treat you like a celebrity, always ask to take photos with you, invite you to birthday parties and weddings, and many of them will want relations with you. You are always in the spotlight in China. And if you have light hair, you get super VIP status. So if you don't like being fussed over, don't come blonde to China. Now, let's get to some of the answers on frequently asked questions. What is my working schedule? You'll have no more than 25 teaching hours a week. 25 is your maximum. However, the time you spend in your school is about 40 hours weekly. No more than 5 hours teaching classes, and the rest of the time you spend in your teaching study cabinet doing what Chinese call lesson planning. The good news is that they do not control lesson planning, so you are free to do whatever you want during it. Watch a TV series, speak with friends, learn Chinese, or even give private lessons to kids from school are all your possible options. Of course, there may be some variations on the schedule depending upon the type of facility, but we've just explained the most common one around the country. What is the age of my students? If we are talking about kindergarten, kids are usually 3 to 6. With elementary schools, you get kids from 6 to 12. Middle school kids are 12 to 15. There are also schools where you teach both to teenagers and adults. They are rather rare, but still, you must keep in mind this possibility. The first contract is usually in kindergartens because it is the easiest way to start teaching experience in China. If you'd like to change afterwards and get the older students, it is not the problem. What is the duration of the program? All the contracts are 12 to 14 months. 14 months are much more often within Chinese employers for candidates without any academic degree. After the first contract, you can stay for 1 more year with salary increase or even 5 more years if you would love China, which you would definitely do. Do I get TEFL certification? You can get TEFL, TESOL certification on your choice. Just talk to your supervisor anytime during the program, and he or she will gladly help you on the matter. How much do Chinese prices differ from ours? Prices are at least 3 times lower than European and American. For example, meals in an inexpensive restaurant would cost you about 30 cents, a bottle of beer about 80 cents, subway ride 40 cents, and a taxi ride 30 cents per 1 kilometer. If you take a local excursion tour for the whole day, you will only pay $15 to $30. The cost of comfortable living for a foreigner is about $300. It's a paradise considering your tax-free salary. Is there any support during the program? As for support, you always have the assistance of employers in documentation, salary, and household matters. But additionally, in order for you to feel safe and homey, you are given your personal supervisor as telephone support throughout your stay in China. The supervisor can help you with various questions, such as how to live thrifty the first month before your salary, or where is it better to buy products, or how can you legally make YouTube, Facebook, Twitter work in China. Anything you want to ask, the supervisor always helps you. All our Chinese supervisors are very friendly and adore foreigners, so you can ask them to show you the city or grab a coffee together, or even hang out in the best bars in China can offer. Also, you can always have a Chinese assistant to help you conduct lessons and a person in the administration office of your educational institution who knows English. They will always help you solve different questions concerning your work. And now it's time to finish our presentation. Have a nice day! We hope to see you in China soon.